Hi, I'm Louise Rogers. I'm a yoga teacher and I love to work with women to help them fully appreciate themselves so that they feel good enough and they can really love their lives and feel more alive. So this is for Mother's Day, for all the mothers and all the mums to be, and maybe the grandmas too. A bit of time for yourself instead of looking after everyone else, a practice that you can do, quite a short practice to nourish yourself and really enjoy your body. So we've got a few props, a blanket and a couple of yoga bricks. If you have them, great. If not, please don't worry. You could actually use a stack of hardback books for something we'll do towards the end. I'm going to come up to standing, take the feet about hip distance, and then with a side bend, bringing one arm up as you come over to the side, you can place the opposite hand on your belly or on your hip, or hold on to that top arm. A little bit of traction there. And just breathing as you root down through the feet, feel your tailbone drop down so the posture feels grounded and spacious. And then come up and over to the second side, just adjusting so that it feels good for your body. Okay, now let's come down to the ground on all fours. And if you want more padding under your knees, use a blanket unless you're on a nice soft surface. We'll take cat-cow by tucking the tailbone under and rounding the back, and then gently tilting your sit bones up and arching. And definitely just go with what feels good here. So you can slow it down or speed it up. Just warming up the spine, limbering the spine. I like to breathe out as I draw the tail under, and inhale to lift the tail, sit bones, and draw the chest forward. And then we're going to take a puppy dog pose. I'm just moving that off to the side, so I've got a clear mat, but you can keep it under your knees if you're using it. So we take the arms forward and keep the hips above the knees. Strong arms so that you can allow the chest or the chin to come towards the floor. And as we did with the standing side bend, this way of drawing more length through the spine, through the waist. But also you might feel like you're sort of getting into the upper back and the upper arms in this very mild back bend. Okay, slide your hands back and we'll take a few breaths in downward facing dog. Going to put your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes. Definitely better to have no socks on so you're not going to slip as you lift your hips up, taking some time to investigate. How does this feel? You can pedal out your legs, bending opposite knee, just as if you're walking on the spot. And relax down through your head and neck. And it might be counterproductive if you're feeling very tense around the neck and shoulders. So just check whether this one feels good for you. You can always bring your knees back to the floor. And just empty the mind as if you're just letting all of those thoughts empty out to the floor. This busy mind often juggling so many things at one time. So let it go. Nice big sighing breaths out. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Okay, let's come down to the knees. Now, if you're pregnant, you might want to come up to high kneeling and drop down through your tailbone. We can all try this. Pop the hands onto your hips, roll the shoulders back and lift your chest. You're not trying to push your belly forward, but just get that nice feeling of lift and spaciousness across the chest. Now, back bends can really help us to enliven us, to feel more joy. And then you can stay with that, and anytime you need to, just take a seat back on your heels. If you're not pregnant, coming down onto your belly and put your forearms on the floor for Sphinx pose. My elbows are under my shoulders. Press into the floor and lift your chest. And as you slide your shoulders back and down away from the ears, just feel that lovely spaciousness through the neck. How does that feel? Stretching back through the toes. Bring your hands back alongside your chest. Come up to fours and then Everybody, even pregnant women, can take their right foot forward to come into a low lunge. You might just adjust the distance between the front foot and the back knee to suit you. And again, put some padding under your back knee if it feels sensitive. And we're just going to allow the hips to come slightly forward and down, propping on the front leg for support. How's that feel in your body? And then bring your hips back, switch sides. And so I like to play with these floor-based postures as a way of feeling grounded and really anchoring our attention down. When we're very busy, we can get very much in our heads and energy can feel all up. So it's nice to do these practices where we're playing more into the hips and grounding to the floor to just bring that energy down again. Okay, bring your hands back, come back into all fours, and then options here to repeat cat-cow or to take downward facing dog. I'm going to keep it moving, so if you're pregnant, again, drop to your knees and come to a high kneeling pose to take this gentle back bend, and otherwise come down onto your belly, take your forearms to the floor, and we'll stretch the toes back, lift the chest for Sphinx pose. And just breathing into that shape. Slide the hands back alongside the chest, push into the floor, lift your hips up and back, and you can come into down dog or child's pose. And step your right foot forward, come into low lunge. Put your hands on your front leg, lift your chest. And then please stay like this if you're pregnant. If you're not pregnant, you can take your left hand to the floor and turn your chest towards the right. So that might feel too squishy for your belly, and it's never good, obviously, to squash your belly if you're pregnant. You're just going to turn the chest to the right, look to the right. So if you're staying upright, you can lift and maybe just turn the upper part of the chest or the neck. If your hand is on the floor, experiment with bringing the right arm up and back. Good, and then take both hands to the floor and come back to kneeling, all fours, and we'll step the left foot forward, take the second side. So pop your hands on the front leg. Option to take the hips slightly forward and down. And again, the option to take your right hand to the floor, turning the chest to the left. And rather than rounding the back, you're trying to lift your chest up and then turn and maybe reach the left arm up. How does that feel? Good, both hands to the floor, and we'll come back to all fours. So now your options: child's pose, downward facing dog. Just check which one feels best for you. Or you can lower your knees to the floor, take your pelvis down, belly down, roll your shoulders back, lift your chest and come into cobra pose. My hands are alongside the chest now, so just using the hands to help you up. Maybe coming that little bit higher. I like to move the hands a bit further forward, just shrugging the shoulders back, freeing up the neck. Again, not if you're pregnant, you stay on all fours or kneeling. Come down, move the hands back so you can shift up. Okay, let's take the right foot forward again, low lunge. And at this point you might want to have your brick, so this is entirely optional if you have those props. Put the hands on the front leg, hips coming forward, raise the arms. This is all just you're experimenting with your body, see what feels right for you. That extra height can help to expand our breathing. Good, as you bring the hands down, either to the front leg or to the floor or to your blocks, lift your right toes and bring your hips back for sort of half splits or runner's lunge. And if you have more flexibility, you can fold, obviously just taking care of your belly if you're pregnant. So maybe staying higher up or not folding at all. And return the right foot to the floor. So we stay here with the hand on the front leg. If you're pregnant, you're pretty much going to stay like this or come back to all fours. If you enjoyed that same twist with the left hand down, turning the chest to the right, then go for it. And then just this other option to lift the left foot and catch hold of the foot with the right hand. So we're adding in a twist and moving into a thigh stretch. So again, not helpful to twist around the belly if you're pregnant. Beautiful, release the foot and take the hands down. We'll come back to all fours. And then exactly the same on the second side. So the left foot forward, bring the arms up, sink the hips forward. How does that feel? Bring the hands down, and you can either have the hands either side of the foot or inside the foot. And as you lift your left toes, just drawing the hips back, perhaps using the bricks if you need a bit more height. Option to fold or stay that bit higher up. And replacing the foot to the floor, now propping up on the front leg, and we're going to turn the chest or bring the right hand down, just helping into that twist. You could keep your right hand on a block if you're finding that helpful. Lift up the back foot, hold with the left hand, but adding in that twist and the thigh stretch. So we want to do postures that feel good in the body, especially when it's close or around or on Mother's Day. You're trying to give yourself a bit of me time. And when you release the foot, good, come all the way back, and we'll take all fours or downward facing dog. Or you can come forward and lie down on your belly. Lift your chest on the inhale, cobra pose or sphinx pose. And as you breathe out, moving back into child's pose or downward facing dog. Okay, let's come up to fours. Now we're going to lie down on our backs, but if you are very pregnant, you might prefer to stay upright. You can play with cat-cow in a seated position, or you can repeat some of the postures that we've already done. And if you're comfortable lying on your back, if you have a block, this is great. So let me show you. You're going to lie down, press into the feet and put that block underneath the pelvis. It's not on the spine, it's just at the sacrum. And you could use a stack of bricks, but this supported back bend, actually very restorative, very calming, but it's helping to open the front of the body, which can enhance our feeling of well-being and, positive energy. So we'll choose the height of the block or the bricks, books, whatever you have. And some of you might experiment going into a higher position there. And just notice how this feels. So sometimes in those earlier weeks of pregnancy, this supported back bend can feel wonderful. You have to trust yourself and sense what feels right for you. And that's always, quite a tricky thing when you're always thinking of other people, to turn your attention inward and think, what do I need? What's my body asking for? How does my body feel now? And if you're balanced really well on the brick or on your books, try taking your left leg forward so you can lengthen through the left hip flexor. So this is a muscle, really deep muscle, where we often hold a lot of tension. And then you can take your right foot off the floor and bring your knee over your hip. So just check in with your back, and if that feels okay for you, no problem. If not, you just come out, put your foot down. And you can also hold on to that top leg or keep your hands on the floor so you feel more balanced. We're reaching forward through the left thigh. Okay, and then we're going to switch up. So right foot down, left foot down, right leg straight, and perhaps you can leave the left foot on the floor or just bring the knee up towards you. How does that feel? Reaching forward. Gently holding onto the leg. Beautiful. And when you're ready to come out, both feet on the floor, lift your bum, move the block, put your hips down. If you're not happy on your back, sit up. If you're still comfortable, just going to move those blocks out of the way. Keep your feet on the floor with your knees bent and start to windscreen wiper your legs side to side. And just go as far as you feel comfortable. Easing out any tension in the hips. And actually amazing just to lie on the floor, give yourself a bit of time to unwind tension. Okay, now bring your legs over to the side so you can roll onto your side and come up to a seated position. And then find a comfortable seat, and you might want to use one of those blocks or a cushion under your bum. And we'll take another posture with the feet together and the hands on the shins or on the feet or on the ankles. Try and find a nice upright spine. And then experiment with folding forward. Again, not going too far if you've got a baby on board, but sense what feels right for you. And now just bring your attention down to the ground, down to the feet. Can you cultivate an attitude of letting go? Letting go of your schedule, your to-do list, the children, other people. Right now, all you need to do is be here and breathe and enjoy your body. When you're ready, sit up and be in a comfortable pose, any comfortable pose. And rest your hands somewhere, wherever it feels nice for you. And take a really deep breath in, fill up. Breathe out, let go. Inhale, filling up. Coming into your body, exhale, let go of any distractions. One more big breath in. And exhale. So notice how you feel. A moment to stop, to listen to your body, and to acknowledge this beautiful body that you have. And perhaps a moment to feel grateful for what you have. And just also acknowledging all that you do for everybody else. And so I really hope that you've enjoyed taking a little bit of time out for yourself. And remember, you look after yourself first. Allow yourself to feel balanced, grounded, vibrant, full of joy, and then you can serve everybody else so much more easily. So let's just conclude with the palms together and a nod of the head to the heart. A moment of thankfulness and appreciation. So have a beautiful day and thank you for joining.